Okay, I'm here. Gonna do a little demonstration. Probably not something that I legally should do, but I'm gonna do anyway. This is my insect frass. Came from my mealworm farm. All last summer's growth, whatever. Worms that grew and ate the feed. And then I clear it with the, I just call them miners. Sifters. This is for gold mining. And you get in the pan and whatever for gold. That's what that's from. So we use those to sift the frass and separate the worms from it and the beetles. And so what I read was it takes 1 tablespoon, but I only have 3/4 teaspoons. So there would be 1 3/4 teaspoon, 2 3/4 teaspoon, and 3 3/4 teaspoons. So we need 1 more 1/4 teaspoon, which I'm not going to guess, and I'm sure it's not going to kill anything to add a little extra, so we'll put in 1/4 3/4. So I'm going to guess the 1 tablespoon per gallon here is probably like the minimal to make your frass stretch the furthest. I have plenty, so I'm not so worried about that. And so what I'm doing is going to be making a tea from that. Right now, all the microbes are pretty much asleep there in the frass. They were dried, so the conditions weren't like the greatest for them to multiply. So the other thing that I'm going to do, I don't know the exact measurement when I was taking the course for the protozoan infusions, but honey was added, so I have a little bit of honey here. I'm going to go ahead and add it now. This is the food for the protozoans. Give them a little bit of sugar. When they wake up, they'll have something to eat. In addition to this here, what I should probably be doing is to get the aquarium pump out. But I've misplaced my aquarium pumps after I did my infusions this spring. We moved, so don't have my original designated areas to store those, but I'm sure they're somewhere here on the shelf. Since, like I said, everything's new, I can't remember anything. So we've added the food. We should probably add the aeration, and maybe I will once I find it, but I want to see what happens. There's 2, views out there. One is you just let this set like for 24 hours and that it's ready to give to your plants. So I suppose I'll make that group happy. I will not make my soil food group happy because they like everything to remain in an aerobic environment. So if you're in that group, you'll want to get this aerated, and then 24 hours you can go ahead and put that on your plants. Or otherwise, if you're in Camp A or Camp B, whichever is the other group, and I guess we'll watch this. I'll look at it under the microscope to make sure things are waking up and starting to flourish, multiply. Tomorrow we'll do the sample and look at it under the microscope and see how long it takes them to start really going again. I noticed like when I would take my compost samples that had been dried out and put them under the microscope, it took a few days. Probably my maximum activity came at about day 3. So it might take a little bit longer than 24 hours, but it doesn't mean that you haven't already started the proper conditions here within 12 to 24 hours. The moisture's there, they're starting to wake up. It's just going to take them more time. And you could put it on or apply it before they really got woke up. So you're still going to have that warm environment and the wet, moist environment so they can start going again. So that's just my short video on making some tea from Frass. If you have it, or if you don't, if you order some, how wonderful it is for your houseplants and whatever garden plants, whatever you want to use it for, and how easy it is to make, especially if you're a small time homesteader, I guess, and you try to raise some of your own food, and you have like chickens, so you can also feed that chicken food to your mealworms first, and then use the frass from the chicken feed to put in, collect it, because it's easy to collect because you're raising these worms in these tubs that are a controlled environment, and then you can then feed those worms to your chickens. So it's kind of a win-win, I guess, because sometimes your chickens, if they're out free range and you're not going to collect all that manure, can be out on the ground and lost. So I suppose if you run it through your your mealworms first, you're going to collect the frass from your chicken feed, and then you can feed the mealworms to your chickens, and then collect whatever percentages after that comes after that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this short video on how to make your teas from your frass.